All right, so welcome to another rapid fire business story of the week. This is part of our rapid fire series, and today we have an incredible guest with us, someone who's achieved extraordinary success and is here to share their unique business journey with you. We're excited to hear their insights, so let's welcome them to the show. All right, so as this is our rapid fire series, we've got 1 minute or less to answer each question. So, in a minute or less, give us the elevator pitch to your story and your life. Go.
So, I am trained as a naturopathic doctor, which is very similar to functional medicine. I typically work with women who are midlife, going through perimenopause, menopausal hormone changes. And this is such a significant time in a woman's life because she is often having not only hormone changes physically, but she's also often going through emotional changes, life changes as well. And this is an incredible opportunity for women to really shift their lifestyle and the way they're living their life, not just on a physical level, but also emotionally, mentally, and spiritually as well. So I love to work with women during this time to really help them become stronger, more aware, more inspired, more empowered during the second half of their life. And it typically starts with perimenopause, the hormone changes, so that a woman can then be happier and more fulfilled in the second half of her life.
So that's fascinating, and I would love to dig a little bit deeper. So tell us a bit more about what you're working on today that you're most passionate about and believe will have the biggest impact.
So for the last 18 years, I've been in clinical practice as a functional medicine naturopathic doctor. And what I have found over the years in my own life, as well as in the lives of many of the clients I've worked with, as well as many other colleagues, is that your mindset, your mental health, your emotional health is critical for business success. It's critical for your health. It's critical for your personal life, but especially as it pertains to creating a business, running a business, being an employee, and also making money and becoming prosperous. And when you work on the physical body, the physical health, that's important too, making sure you're eating healthy, exercising, getting plenty of sleep, maybe taking the right supplements, maybe hormone prescriptions, maybe medications as needed, but also really focusing on the mindfulness and mindset. And I'm a big proponent of a daily practice of meditation, and it's made a world of difference in my own life. And having a meditation mindfulness practice has been a game changer for my business and prosperity, and I want to share these teachings with other men and women as well. So a little bit more into business coaching, but also adding in wellness and life coaching as well.
So this next question is one that every entrepreneur has dealt with. Tell us about a time where you failed. We often say failure is the first step to success. So think about a time where you failed in the past. What happened? What did you learn from it?
So failure is another form of feedback. It's feedback on what didn't work well. It's feedback on what needs to shift in your life. It's feedback on where the next step is, or where the next path or the next direction is going to lead you. And failure is just another example of what needs to shift in your life. And last year, I had a downturn in my business. I had a substantial loss. And what I realized, for many different reasons, I saw this as an opportunity to pivot. I saw this as an opportunity to really get into what I'm most passionate about, and which is the business coaching, mindset coaching, life wellness coaching for men and women, so that they can up-level their game in the workplace. And because of this downturn in my clinical practice, I saw this as an opportunity to really step into something where I can have a greater impact on people from all over the world. And I get to live my purpose. I get to fulfill my purpose, my soul purpose, my life purpose. And all of that would not have happened had I not had this quote failure or this feedback that something wasn't working. And I think it's because it needed to shift. It needed to change. I needed to change my life direction, my career, my professional impact needed to change because of that feedback or failure.
That's fascinating. That's fascinating. And we're definitely going to have you back on the show to dive deeper into each of these questions. But for now, one thing that I often say is, and I tell this to my employees and the people who work with me and for me all the time, is that when a tree falls in the forest, if nobody hears it, did that tree actually fall? This brings me to this next question. How do you make sure that all of these amazing projects that you're involved in get noticed? What marketing and advertising methods have worked best for you? You've got a minute. Let's go.
I love promoting my business through different social media platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I feel like the greatest impact, and that's going to reach more people throughout the world, as we all know. I feel like the greatest impact that you can have on people is that one-on-one connection. And the one-on-one connection might be in person. It might be at a professional networking event in person. It might be at a conference. It might be at a spiritual retreat or some sort of business retreat. I feel like the in-person connection with people either in your local community or even just if you're traveling, you get to meet people from all over the world. That one-on-one interaction, the conversation of really getting to know somebody else's story, I think that has the greatest impact, and people remember that. And the social media marketing works too, but really people want to be heard, and they want to be seen, and they want to be validated, and they want to have that sense of connection and belonging, and they want their message heard as well. So I really think the one-on-one connection is the most important in building relationships and building your business.
That was so awesome. We're definitely going to dive deeper into this on a later show. And as we approach our last question, before we ask people how people can get a hold of you, how people can reach you, learn more about the work that you're doing in your company, and we will include all that information in the show notes, what I wanted to ask you is, what is one piece of advice that you would offer to your younger self, to our audience, and to somebody, especially somebody who's just starting out in the same niche that you're in, but just doesn't know how to start or get going? Amazing stuff. We're going to have to thank our guest today.
My answer is listen to your gut, listen to your heart, listen to that intuition that knows you best, that knows what's best for you, and go with what feels most aligned and what feels right to you, and listen to or pay attention to the signs when something doesn't feel right, when there's a lot of multiple problems, or there's a lot of things that are in the way that just don't feel right. Like it just feels like it's too much uphill battle, or it feels like it's too much resistance. Sometimes that can be a good thing. Sometimes that could mean that you're on the wrong path. And listening to your gut, your soul, your intuition, I think that's going to lead you in the right direction. And that can also be in the form of other people. That could be also in the form of coaches and mentors and other people that are inspiring and empowering for you in your life. And so knowing the right people to work with, I think can get you on the right path or help you reach your goals faster. And really just kind of paying attention to what feels the most aligned to the direction that you're headed.
today for being a guest on Business Story of the Week. And before we cut out on this episode, I wanted to ask you, how can people get a hold of you? How can people learn more about what you're doing? And how do people engage with you? And we will transcribe this and put it in the show notes for everybody to find.
You can find me through, my website is drkristi.com, DOCTORKRISTI.com. I'm on Instagram, Dr. Kristi Tompkins, LinkedIn, Facebook, Dr. Kristi Tompkins, YouTube, same name, throughout all the different website platforms.
All right, amazing. So you did it. Thank you for being a guest on the show today. Let me tell you what you can expect next. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all this, we're going to cut it into an episode. It will go on the Business Story of the Week page. So make sure you go on Apple Podcasts, review us, like us, go on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to us on Spotify. And this will come out in the next 30 days or so, depending on our workload and how many shows we have. We have had a lot of interest in the show lately, so we may be a little backed up, but the show will get out. In the meanwhile, we will send you clips that feel free to share on social. Also, the full episode, feel free to share any way that you like. The content is yours to share and put out there. We just ask that you mark us and tag us in the notes if you do. So in the copy, put hashtag Business Story of the Week, link back to us. We would appreciate that. And if you think that you might be interested in doing more podcasts, live ones and studio ones, Zoom ones, Riverside ones, there's a whole host of shows that likely, if you did this one and succeeded, you would probably be really great at, and a great way of getting your message out. So your host will talk to you about potentially getting you booked on a strategy call for a Business Story of the Week's sister company, Podcast Cola, or becoming a YouTube influencer through Viral Mirage. Thanks again for being a part of this. Looking forward to working with you.